Today we'll be starting with our next topic, that is how to handle a page fault. Now what we'll be looking at, where in the last lecture we have discussed about the paging. Now what is there with the paging? We have overcome the problem of external fragmentation, but there will still persist internal fragmentation. That means you are clear with what is won't be any external fragmentation, but still some cases of internal fragmentation will be there with the paging part. Now next topic that we'll be taking up is what is page fault and how to handle a page fault. So what is page fault? Suppose if we want to find a page that is not in the page table, then we say that the page fault has occurred. Suppose we want to search for a particular page that is not in the page table, that is on the backing store. In that case we say that the page fault has occurred. Now whenever we try to access a page, if it is not in the page table, then we need to handle that page fault. Then what are the various steps for handling the page fault that we will be overcoming in this lecture. Now as we'll be looking from this diagram, this is the basic layout in which we'll be handling the page faults. So what is it will include 6 steps. What is the first step? First step is reference. What is there with reference? The page that is to be accessed, that is looked in the page table. Now what is the second step? It is trap. Now if the page that is to be found in that the bit corresponding that page is said to be invalid, this is valid invalid bit. If it is invalid, that means the page is not in the page table, it needs to be taken backed from the backing store. If it is invalid, then what it will do, it will result in a trap to the operating system. Okay? That means a trap to operating system means that the page fault was not in the page table. What is the next step? We need to will find out that where the page lies in the backing store. If it is not in the page table, then it will result in trap, and we are supposed to find out that where the page is on the backing store. In the next step, we are supposed to find a free frame and correspondingly bring that page from backing store to that given free frame. After the page is loaded into the free frame, what is the next step? We're supposed to load that page into page table. That page is loaded into page table. That means this page table needs to be modified. Previously this bit was invalid bit, but after loading that page, this I needs to be replaced with the valid bit. That means this page is now in the page table. After that we will be restarting the instructions. Clear? This is how the various steps of the steps while dealing with the page fault occurs. What is the first step? First we reference the page table. Now if the page is in the page table, then it is fine. If it is not in the page table, then it will result in a trap to the operating system. Then we are supposed to locate the page on the backing store. After the page is present in the backing store, we need to find we need to bring the corresponding page into free frame. That is, we are supposed to find out a free frame, then load that page into the free frame list. Then we are supposed to reset the page table. Page table needs to be modified. That means the bit that was previously stored as invalid bit, that needs to be stored as valid bit. After that, the instructions will be restarted. Now if you are supposed to look at the various steps, this is all you will be taking up. These are the 6 steps. First one is reference. We are supposed to refer the page table. Then if it is not there, then it will result in trap. Then find the page on the backing store, bring the page from the backing store to the page in the free frame. Then reset the page table. That means invalid bit needs to be modified to valid bit. Then we're supposed to restart the instruction. Now with with this page fault performance, we're supposed to find out the effective access time. This is normally the question that is normally asked in the various PTU exam as well as your competitive exams. Suppose if P represents a possibility of a page fault, that means if P is the probability that a page fault will occur. Now, if that is the probability, it will lie between 0 and 1. Probability, as you all know, that it will always be between 0 and 1. After that, we are supposed to compute the effective access time. How that is computed? This is 1 minus P. If P is the probability of occurrence of a page fault, then 1 minus P is the probability of non-occurrence of a page fault. This is to be multiplied with memory access time, then plus P into P page into page fault time. Okay, this is the general formula. So we'll be taking up this by the means of a certain example. Suppose if in a particular scenario, if 80% is the hit ratio means it is the probability of finding the page in the page table. If it is 80%, that means value of P is 0.8. Now to access the memory, suppose the time required is 100 nanosecond. Then what is the effective access time for this thing? How that is to be computed? It is 0.8. What is P over here? It will be 0.8 into 100, that is the time to access the memory, plus 1 minus P. 1 minus 0.8 is 0.2 into memory access time. Now suppose if the page is not in the page table, then for what are the various steps is, firstly it will be checking the page table. If it is not found there, then the page needs to be loaded from the memory. So in total it will be taking 200 nanoseconds. Clear this point? If the page is not in the memory, then probabilities 1 minus P becomes 0.2 into 200. Why it becomes 200? Because 100 nanoseconds will be used for accessing the page in the page table. If not, as page is not in there in the page table, it will be accessed from the memory. In this way, it will somehow to 200. So what is the effective access time? This will become 0.8 into 100 plus it will plus 0.2 into 200. So this will come out to be 120 nanoseconds. This is what is to be done with the page fault and how to handle the page fault.